it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and I hope you're having a great day today. I thought I would colour the postcard from Karolina Kubikowski's Winter Memories postcard set, and that's a gorgeous postcard set. I'll put a link to my review of it below the video, and I thought that I would colour this with my set of 12 Inktense pencils. Now, I do have the full set of Inktense pencils, but to be honest, I got this set of 12 right from the beginning to see if I would like the Inktense pencils or not, and I still haven't come anywhere near using them up. And I just keep using them because I'm trying to wear them down basically, and then I can reward myself by going to the big set. But so I always just tend to grab this little tiny 12 set. I don't know why I do this, like when I've got the whole set of 72 and I still go to the little set of 12 that I first bought, but I don't know, we all have our quirks, I guess. So I haven't tried the Inktense on these postcards, I don't think, so I thought I would give it a go and just, have a little quick colour of this gorgeous little picture. So I hope that you guys are doing well. I am fine. I know I was sick, I think probably last time I did a colour and chat. It's been a while. And I've still got a bit of sinus and stuff, but that's just weather, and things health-wise are certainly a lot better at this end of town, and I hope that you guys are healthy and happy as well. It's an absolutely beautiful day here today in Brisbane. It's so warm and sunny. I've already done 3 loads of washing, and I was thinking when I was outside a minute ago that it's just actually starting to get really warm, and soon I'm going to have to maybe turn on the air conditioner, which I don't like doing until it's like after lunch. I have these little rules, to save electricity, but I was looking at the pool and I was looking at the aircon, and I was thinking, it's not going to be long now until I need to turn those things on. So the reason I haven't done a colour and chat for a while is that, first of all, I haven't felt like colouring. Do you ever get like that? I kind of have lost my colouring mojo at the moment, and I guess that's something that, happens a lot to people. You feel like doing it and then you go all in, and then, I don't know, sometimes you're just like, no, I want to do something else, or you get involved in another craft or whatnot, or you just, like me, I just don't seem to find the time, and although I've had the thoughts of wanting to colour something, I just can't even bring myself to unpack the pencils. And you're probably thinking, well, you're actually colouring now, and that's actually not true. I actually filmed this a few months ago, and I'm actually just redid the audio for today, so I'm not even colouring it now. I coloured it months ago. So hopefully my mojo will return, and I'll feel like colouring something soon. This is one I did a couple of months ago, and I forgot to upload it, so I just deleted the audio and redid it because it was like 2 months out of date. But I have been doing a lot of stuff, and that's probably why I've not felt like colouring. I've probably felt overwhelmed with other stuff. So, like, first of all, my computer completely seized up because I had so much stuff on it I couldn't even delete it, and had to go through a huge sort of way of going through the back end of the computer to actually delete stuff off to free space to delete it. And then I had to get another hard drive and whatnot. So I had a lot of computer and photos and videos and whatnot that I had to move, and that actually took quite a few days to do because we're not talking a few gigabytes here, we're talking terabytes, so it took quite a long time. And what else have I been doing? I wanted to do some courses, and so I subscribed to, it's not actually a course, it's just a pile of documents to read. And because it's like quite expensive per month and you've got to get it for a minimum of 3 months, I've been going hell for leather to try and get through these thousands and thousands of pages of documents and get them all read and downloaded, so that I don't have to pay more than the minimum of the 3 months to do the course. And I've also been doing another course which is interior design and styling, and I've been doing that online. I actually had that course for a while and I hadn't dived in and done all the materials or worked my way through all the materials other than like the first part. So been going through that and just trying to do something different basically. Then I've been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials, none of which have got anything to do with colouring, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials on things like computer programs like Microsoft Excel and things like that, because I've got a Mac, and Mac has its own set of programs which I never really have used. I've always used Microsoft programs, but I wanted to see how they work on the Mac. So I've been going through those and learning the differences, and I've been realising that even though I've used Excel and Word and PowerPoint and stuff for years at previous jobs, I only ever really needed to learn the things that I needed it for. And so there's really a lot more to them that I've never taught myself. So I've been going through, and as problems arise I look up YouTube videos and then go through and sort of learn things, because I taught myself all of those things by just pressing a few buttons and seeing what happens. And so yeah, it's kind of nice to figure out that there's all these other things that I have never needed for work, but now I know that it can do those and how to do them. So that's been fun. What else? So yeah, I've been doing that and the interior design thing, and then the thousands of documents. I mean, that is just huge. So I kind of reward myself by reading a bit of that and then going off and doing something else. The other things that I've been doing is that I've got some things that I'm going to do on my blog, and of course I wildly underestimated the amount of time that they would take to do, which is really hilarious because I used to bill on 6-minute units and time management was my thing, but clearly it's not anymore. And so I wildly underestimated, thinking that something would take a few hours, and instead it's been on and off for a few months in one case. So I think that's pretty hilarious. And it's not like I sit and do it every day. I only do it every now and again, but I had thought that it would be a lot quicker to do, and it's certainly not. But I really need to get that ticked off my list this week. And what else have I been doing? I can't really think of too much else. We haven't had any luck getting a dog, and I have applied for over 20 dogs to adopt, but at the moment in Queensland, where we're living, there's only a few hundred dogs available on the rescue sites, and there's, over 5 million people in Queensland. And then when you deduct the suitability, because a lot of the rescue places have particular requirements, like you've got to have children, or you've got to have another dog, or you can't have a cat, etc. So when we go through those requirements, there's really not many left. And then when you take out the dogs that are either too big for Millie, she doesn't really like big dogs, she gets scared, which is funny because she's, little Zorro with those paws. There's really not a lot left, and so on a weekly basis there might only be one dog that I can apply for. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, and unfortunately in life there's always someone better than you. I just think that we've missed out because there's people that are better suited to the dog than us, which It's surprising seeing I'm home pretty well all day, every day, and we've got full perimeter fencing, our dogs are our family, but still, I guess there's people that fit the circumstances better than us, and we just have to live with that, I guess. But we have been adopted by some wildlife, so we're the proud, I don't know, owners of Mummy Possum, and she's got a nice gorgeous little baby that she carries around her back, and she's living in our leopard tree out the front, and she is just lovely. She sits up there on the tree branch of an evening with her little baby on her back, and she's just adorable. I really love possums. I was so thrilled when we moved here because we had some in Sydney that were living in our backyard. We had quite a few actually, which is funny for the inner city of Sydney. When we moved here, and David was pruning one of the palm trees and he woke up Mrs. Possum living up there. So I don't know if it's the same one, but anyway, she's got a baby and she's as cute as a button, and the baby is just adorable. So David's going to make them a possum box for the tree so that they have somewhere to sit if they want, or otherwise I guess they won't use it if they don't want to use it. I don't know. I've never made a possum box before, but I guess we'll soon find out if they want to use it or not. And as well as the possums, we've got a tree frog, and they're those beautiful green tree frogs, that really beautiful bright green. And it's really interesting the way he came to us. Well, I don't know if it's a he or a she, to be honest, but he's noisy. Oh man, is he noisy. So David's work had to pick up some leftover supplies from New South Wales, which is the state adjoining us, and they'd done a very small construction job down there, and then all the restrictions on the borders came into force and they weren't able to go down and pick up their leftover materials. Anyway, they finally got people to bring those materials back up to Queensland, and from Byron Bay, which is a beautiful coastal town in New South Wales for those that aren't from Australia. And anyway, David grabbed one of the white buckets that they brought back to bring home because he had some things that he wanted to do with it. And when he was putting it in the car, he realised that he'd also grabbed a little friend. So the little tree frog has come all the way from the next state and was completely brown because it had been without water for days and days and days. So we put water in the bucket and we've released him into the garden, and I made him a little like a little pond of water so that he's got somewhere to drink. And I didn't see him for a few days, and then David called me down to my tomato patch the other night, and there he was sitting up on the side of my tomatoes. And so I put a little saucer of, not a saucer, it's bigger than that, a little pond of water in there for him to have. And I know he's still around because I can hear him. He's very noisy, and the sound is just amazing. It's not like a ribbit, it's really loud. So anyway, he's living here. Mrs. Possum and a baby are living here, and of course Millie is still here, and she has gotten really, really affectionate and sometimes a little bit clingy, actually, for a cat that wasn't very friendly when we first rescued her. So she's getting more and more cuddly and wants to snuggle all the time, so that's really nice. So we've got those little critters. And what else is happening? I think someone's blown the whistle around our neighbourhood, or they put out a memo, I don't know, but about 2 or 3 of our neighbours are all moving, and they're all the people that I like. So the people next door, they've sold their house. We're a little bit worried as to who the new occupants will be. Will they be, nice, or will they be noisy? Will they be horrid people? I don't know. I guess, most people worry about who their neighbours are going to be. But we've had kind of good luck with them, but they are quite noisy, so I guess, we'll see what happens with that. And then the people up the road are leaving, and that's really disappointing because I talk to them all the time. They've got 5 little dogs and they walk them all the time, and at night they've got little lights on their little collars, and so when you look out you just see all these little lights bopping around on the grass, and that's all their little dogs. And actually she had asked me how to render the house, and I'd actually shown her how to do the rendering, and she came up and thanked me the other day for showing her, and she said that they'd actually done it inside the house, and she was so grateful. And I thought, oh my God, just something that took me 5 minutes to show her and write down the products to buy and whatnot. And she was so happy, and we went up and had a look when it was available for inspection. She asked us to come and have a look at her rendering job, and it looks really good, and she says she thinks that, is going to make a real difference to selling the property. So that was really nice. And then the worst one is my neighbour over the road. I guess they're in their 70s, and he has Parkinson's disease, and yeah, he's Dutch, so they've always got those fantastic cookies whenever you go over there. And his wife was kind of as strong as an ox, but about a month ago she got a cyst on the spine and then blood poisoning, and she's been in hospital ever since, and she'll be in hospital for a few more weeks. And apparently, like, walking up the stairs to get in and whatnot is not something that she wants to do when she's coming out. So she's asked her daughter, that's a real estate agent, to sell the house. So I was really disappointed when they said that they were going. Purely selfish, I know, because often she's the only person I speak to on the day. Usually about 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm reading the news on my iPad on the balcony, or checking on Facebook, and she'll walk past and we'll have a chat, over the balcony type thing. And that will often be the only conversation I have with a human being other than David all day. So when they said that they were moving, in pure selfishness, I was so upset. And it was just like, seriously, the only person I speak to all day is leaving. But I realised I was just being purely selfish and thinking only of myself, and I did get over that pretty quickly, you'll be pleased to know. And I do hope that they find a place that's suitable for them. They're just a lovely couple, and they've always been so good to us. Like, when we took off suddenly to go to Sydney and be with Dad's dad before he passed away, we hadn't told anyone that we were going. We just quickly went, and they came in and they took out our garbage bins and they sorted our recycling for us, and they kept an eye on the house, and they were just lovely. And we hadn't actually had that level of really nice neighbours, because in the inner city of Sydney it's kind of every man for yourself type thing. So I'm really going to miss them. And they've been here for like 50 years, so they were always telling us the history around the property, our property, theirs, and in the area in general. So it was always really nice. You always got like a little history lesson as well. So I'm certainly going to miss them. I hope they, stay close. So, of course, the other thing I've been doing is playing in my garden. I love my garden. And I did something the other day, which I'm not sure if I'm regretting or not. I planted all these paper daisies, and they looked absolutely fantastic, just beautiful. But the problem with them was, I think you might call them straw flowers as well, is that I overplanted them, and so bulbs and stuff that I had in the same planter box, they couldn't bloom and grow like they're meant to because I had just overplanted these paper daisies. And so I was trying to save the bulbs, and so what I did was, and I felt really bad, I went down and I ripped them all out. And then after I ripped them all out and it's kind of bare, I realised that the bulbs probably weren't going to bloom. It's probably too late to save them. So now I've got this big bare patch, and you know what I went and did? I went and ordered more paper daisies because I thought, well, I can always put less back into the planter box. And I've got a spot out the front where I'd spent Sunday afternoon in the hot sun planting out all my little poppy seedlings, and then I realised it was just too hot for them, so I've ordered up all these paper daisies, and I've realised, I guess this is what gardening people do all the time, they realise from trial and error on stuff, but I realised that the white ones sort of don't age well, they get sort of muddy looking, so I've decided just to get light yellow, orange and pink paper daisies, and hopefully they'll age better, I guess is the term. Last time I had pink and white ones, so I'm hoping they'll arrive soon. They're really good. I get them from a place in Melbourne, and they're only $1.20 a packet of seeds, so it's super cheap. Of course, I can never stop at just buying one packet of things, so I end up getting other things as well. So I got some tomatoes that are good for making tomato pasta sauce. So we'll see how those go. But quite frankly, I'm really out of space. I've got no planter boxes left. I've got nothing left. And David is always so busy that he can't build me another planter box. And I got a ton of dirt the other day, and David picked it up for me in the work truck. And I've already used it, so I don't know, I'm going to have to get more dirt and sweet talk David into making me more planter boxes, I guess. I don't know. It's a worry. I don't know how I, ever survived, but unfortunately, just like with colouring pencils and stuff, my eyes are often bigger than the space I have, and I just keep thinking, oh, I really would like those flowers and those ones, and maybe I should get perennials rather than annuals, and so I'll get a few more, and I have them all organised in like 2 little boxes. One's meant to be for putting teas in, but there's no way I'm putting teas in it, and the other one is just something from the hardware shop. So they're all organised by season, and I like looking through them, just like colouring books. I like looking through, seeing what I've got. I guess the other thing that David and I have been doing is we've been obsessed with a TV show that's new for us, which is Big Bang Theory. And I've seen it before, and I've always thought it's sort of like a nerdy geek show and probably wouldn't like it. I tell you what, we're up to season 8, don't spoil it for me. We absolutely love it. We've been kind of binge watching it. I mean, we watch a few episodes every night. We're trying to pace it. We thought we could get it to last until Christmas, but at this rate, I'm thinking that we'll probably be finished it soon because we're up to season 8 already. But it is so funny. I just love that show. I think it's hilarious. And so I went and watched the other show. David hasn't seen it, The Young Sheldon. And I thought, that's funny, but it's nowhere near as funny as Big Bang Theory. It's really clever, and I really like it. It's just so funny. And am I the only one that discovers these TV series like years later? Like, I have watched it before, don't get me wrong. I've come in to like an episode and watched a little bit of it and gone, oh no, that's really not for me. But I don't know what made us decide to start on it, and we love it. We absolutely love it. And it's rare when David and I find something that we both like, that fits our sense of humour or our sense of drama or action. Because, quite frankly, some of the the things that he likes are way too violent for me. But I guess obviously some of the things that I like are way too wussy for David, so it's hard getting that little mix in there. So this picture is coming along nicely, and I still haven't decided. I finished the picture after I did this video, and I really want to put white on it, but every time I do that lovely artistic white splatter that some of you do so extremely well, mine just looks like a bird's had an accident on it, and I end up scraping it off with my fingernail. But I'm really hoping to be brave and to, put in some splashes of white, but it's not going to be today. I don't know, I think I have to get more confident with the white splattering to do it. So yeah, other than the ripping out all the flowers, I also have been planting a lot of stuff, and I've got tomatoes that are just growing all over the place. I've got them coming out of every surface in this house that I've never planted, and they just keep appearing, and I guess they get carried by the wind, their seeds, and they just pop up in all sorts of strange places, like in the lemon tree or in the planter box of snapdragons, nowhere near where they were planted. So they're just everywhere. We will not run short of tomatoes. I've got 20 pots full of tomatoes, as well as planter boxes of tomatoes, and they're just everywhere, everywhere. We're being taken over. They just taste so nice, and we do use them, and if I don't use them all, I'll just give them to the neighbours, and that's what I normally do. And I've been planting lots of lettuces and other things like that, and some salad stuff because we're coming up to summer. So I guess that's all what I've been doing. So I'm going to use my small set of Prismacolor watercolours with this as well. I've got a little set of 12 and I've had them for years. I actually bought them by mistake. I thought I was buying, when I first went to buy Prismacolors, they were on special at the local craft shop when we were on holiday. And I thought they were actually pencils, and then when I got them back home I realised that they were watercolours. But I kept them because I really love them. They're so soft and creamy. And I really wanted a little light blue to use on this card. So I thought, why not use my little pack of 12 Prismacolor pencils on it? And they are really soft and creamy, these watercolours. They're just really lovely to use. And I always enjoy using them whenever I do. And one day I'll get a bigger set. I don't know what their bigger sets come in. I know it's not the 150 like the pencils, which is a shame. It'd be good if it was like Faber-Castell and they had a matching set of watercolours, but they don't. But they are really lovely and soft, so I just thought I'd use that soft light blue from the Prismacolor to add a little bit of lighter colour on the back of this card before I go and add the water and make it all come alive, and hopefully it'll come alive the way I imagined it. But I wasn't up for putting the white on it today, and I'm still nervous about doing that. That's it from me. I hope you're having a good day, and until next time, stay safe and happy colouring.